Welcome students. In the previous class, we had discussed about covalent bonding. Today, we are going to discuss mainly related with electronegativity. So, we are familiar with covalent bonding. There is the sharing of electron between the atoms will take place and form the bond, and it is classified into single bond, double bond and a triple bond. And here says that in a covalent bonding, the bonded pair of the electrons take part in the bonding, they will be attracted by the atoms. So, the ability to attract the bonded pair of electron in a covalent bonding is known as electronegativity. So, the relative ability of an atom to attract the bonded pair of electron in a covalent bond is generally known as what? Electronegativity. So, it is the ability to attract the electrons, especially the bonded pair of electron in a covalent bonding. So, for measuring the electronegativity values, different types of scales are introduced by different scientists. But there is a scale that now we are using for calculating the electronegativity that is introduced by or formed by Linus Pauling. So that's why that electronegativity scale is known as Pauling's scale. So Pauling's scale, it is used to measure the electronegativity that is invented by Linus Pauling. He gives the values from 0 to 4. In between 0 and 4, he gives the value, electronegativity value for the elements. Okay, and that is the table is given in your textbook related with the electronegativity. Just check that values, and the electronegativity is maximum for fluorine. The electronegativity value is maximum for the element fluorine. If you know the electronegativity values, we can find the nature of bonding, whether a compound is ionic or covalent. That can be calculated if you know the value, electronegativity value. Then we are going to discuss how we can find whether the compound is ionic compound or a covalent compound by using the electronegativity values. Look at here. What is the method? For an example, in the case of sodium chloride, we want to know which type of compound is this. In the case of sodium chloride, we want to know which type of compound is sodium chloride. First of all, that we want to know the electronegativity value of sodium and chlorine. So the electronegativity value of sodium is 0.93. The electronegativity value of sodium is 0.93, and the electronegativity value of chlorine is 3.16. 3.16. If you want to know which type of compound is this, just find the difference in these values. Difference in the electronegativity values. If the difference is value, get a value, there is a difference between this electronegativity. If the difference is 1.7 or greater than 1.7, if the value is 1.7 or greater than 1.7, that compound is ionic. That compound is ionic. If the value is less than 1.7, if the value is less than 1.7, that compound is covalent compound. So it is easy. The students just check the electronegativity values of combining atoms. Generally, that is takes place for the two atoms combining compound. Two atoms, different elements, atoms of different elements as we are taking here. So just find the difference in the values. Just find the difference in the values. If the value is less than 1.7, that compound is covalent. If the value is greater than 1.7 or 1.7, it is ionic in nature. So here we want to find the difference in these values. So 3.16 minus 0.93. So 6 minus 3, 11 minus 9, 2. So we get the answer. It is 2.23. 2.23 is the answer. If it is 2.23, you want to understand that the value is greater than 1.7. The value is greater than 1.7. If the value is greater than 1.7, that is a ionic compound. So sodium chloride is a ionic compound. Next one, we want to know whether the nature of the compound or the nature of the compound of CH4 methane. Its name is methane. It is methane, CH4 methane. So here 4 hydrogen atoms are there. It is not important how many atoms are there. That is not important. You just check the values of carbon and hydrogen itself. The value of carbon, electronegativity value of carbon is 2.55. The electronegativity of carbon is 2.55. And the value of hydrogen is 2.20. 2.20. The value of carbon is 2.55 and the value of hydrogen is 2.20. We just find the difference in the values. We can get that 2.55 minus 2.20. So 5 minus 0, 5, 5 minus 2, 3, then 2 minus 2, 0. The answer is 0.35. The answer is 0.35. The value is less than 1.7. So CH4, methane, is an example for what? Covalent compound. It's an example for covalent compound. Could you get the idea related with the electronegativity values and how you find whether the compound is covalent or ionic? So it is easy to find whether the compound is covalent or ionic. So this is important thing you want to study well. You just complete the table that is given in your textbook related with the questions related with the whether the compound is covalent or ionic. Next topic we are going to discuss here, it is related with the polar nature or polar covalent compounds or polar compounds. What is polar compounds? Next one. So look at that. We know that HCl is a compound that is formed by covalent bonding. So HCl is an example for covalent compound. So HCl is an example for covalent bond. They will share one pair of electron together and form the compound, and there will be a single bond between the atoms, hydrogen and chlorine. We can represent H single bond Cl. So they will share one pair of electron that is common for both the atom. But if you compare the electronegativity values, we can get that hydrogen the value is 2.20 and chlorine is value is 3.16. If you compare the electronegativity values between hydrogen and chlorine, chlorine is more able to attract the bonded pair of electron because that is more electronegative. So these electrons, bonded pair of electron, especially I just represent the bonded pair of electrons only here. The bonded pair of electron, so there hydrogen and chlorine share the pair of electron, they will be at center. Then the chlorine is more attracted the electron because that is more electronegative. So the electron closer to the chlorine atom and it is moved away from the hydrogen and it is not completely lost by the hydrogen. So that means the hydrogen atom partially lost the electron, not completely lost it. The chlorine is more forced to attract the bonded pair of electron than hydrogen. Hydrogen is also attracting, but the force of attraction is more for chlorine because that is more electronegative. So the electrons are closer to the chlorine atom. That means the hydrogen lost the electron partially and chlorine get the electron partially. That is important. Partially that will get the electron. Hydrogen lost the electron also partially, not completely. If an atom that lost the electron partially, that will get a partial charge. That partial is known as delta. That partial charge is known as delta. It is represent delta. It's like this. Okay, delta. So how can you represent in HCl? Hydrogen that lost the electron partially, so it will get a partial positive charge. And the case of chlorine that will get the electron partially, so it will get partial negative charge, delta plus and delta minus. So the compound, in a compound there is partial charges are there in a compound. Such type of compounds are known as polar compounds. So in a compound that have partial charges, not complete charges, partial charges, such type of compounds are known as polar compounds, and this nature is known as polar nature. And this type of covalent bonding, this type of partial charge occurring covalent bonding is known as polar covalent bonding. So polar nature is the nature forming the partial charges, and the compounds that have the partial charge is known as polar compound, and the bonding between the polar compounds that is known as polar covalent compounds. Then another example for polar compounds. Another example for polar compounds are NH3, H2O, then HF, etc. NH3, H2O, HF are other example for polar covalent compounds or polar compounds. Especially the NH3 and H2O get the polarity or polar nature is due to their structure. Some of the compounds attain the polar nature due to their structure also, bonding and their structure also. Due to the structure, the ammonia molecule and water molecule get the polar nature. So they are also polar compounds. Then in the case of HCl, it is like what? HCl. So in the case of HF, hydrogen fluoride, same like that of HCl. It is not due to the structure. Due to the structure, they get the polarities for NH3 and H2O. The next, we are going to discuss about the properties of ionic compound and covalent compound. Now we are going to discuss about the nature of ionic compounds and covalent compounds, their properties. First of all, state. Especially for the ionic compounds, they exist in solid state. Ionic compounds generally they exist in solid state. But what about covalent compound? They exist in solid, liquid and gaseous state. They are especially found in solid, liquid and gaseous state. Okay, solid ionic compounds especially in solid state. Then in the case of covalent compounds, they are existing in solid, liquid and gaseous state. Both the three forms. Solubility in water. Ionic compounds are soluble in water. Ionic compounds are soluble in water, but covalent compounds are insoluble in water. But they are soluble in organic solvents. Like kerosene, benzene and CCl4, etc. But they are soluble in organic solvents like what? Kerosene, benzene and CCl4. But they are insoluble in water. They are not soluble in water, they are insoluble. But they are soluble in organic solvents like kerosene, then what? Benzene and carbon tetrachloride. Next one, electrical conductivity. Ionic compounds are conductors in molten or solution form. Molten and solution form, they are conduct electricity. As in the form of solution or in molten state, they will conduct electricity. But covalent compounds does not conduct electricity, insulators. They does not conduct electricity. Then melting point and boiling point. For ionic compounds, the melting point and boiling point is high. For the covalent compounds, the melting point and boiling point are low. So what are the properties? Ionic compounds exist in solid state. They are soluble in water. They will conduct electricity in the molten form or in the solution state. Then their boiling and melting point are high. Then what about covalent compounds? They exist in solid, liquid and gaseous form. Then they are insoluble in water. They are soluble in organic solvents like benzene, CCl4 and kerosene. They does not conduct electricity because they are insulators. They does not conduct electricity. Then their melting and boiling point are low. This is an important topic. You want to write the table into your notebook and study well. It's a very important area of this chapter. Then next topic we are going to discuss here. It is related with valency. Now the next topic is valency. So what is valency? Valency is a number. The number of electrons that are donated or accepted or shared by an atom to attain the stability, or in a chemical reaction or combining of atoms to attain the stability, how many electrons are donated, lost, or how many electrons are accepted, gained or shared by an atom. That number is the valency. So for an example, in the case of sodium, its atomic number is 11. Then we can write the electronic configuration as 2, 8, 1. How many electrons are there in the valence shell? 1 electron. How many electrons are there in the valence shell? 1 electron. Number of valence electron, it is 1. There is 2 chances to attain the stability. The one chance is donate 1 electron, or the second chance is accept a 7 electron. An atom that always do the easier thing for that atom. It is easy to, that need less energy. So that always do, that will donate 1 electron. So to attain the stability, what the sodium atom will do? That will donate 1 electron. Okay, donated 1 electron. So if it is donated 1 electron, its valency is 1. So its valency is 1. Another example we are going to discuss related with oxygen. Oxygen, its atomic number is 8, electronic configuration 2, 6. Then how many valence electrons are there? How many valence electrons? Yes, 6. So to attain the stability, there are also 2 chances. Which are the chances? The one chance is donate the 6 electron, or otherwise accept 2 electron, which is easier. The atom will always do the thing that is easy to the atom, that need less energy. So that is accept 2 electron. In a chemical reaction, that will accept 2 electron or share 2 pair of electrons. That's why its valency is 2. Valency is 2. Valency is not 6, it is 2. How many electrons accepted or donated or shared? Here accept 2 electron, so its valency is 2. One more example I will give, you just give the answer. What is the valency? Atomic number 10, it is neon, electronic configuration 2, 8. Then how many electrons are there in the valence shell? 8 electrons. So they are already stable. There is no need to donate, accept or share the electrons. So what is the valency? Valency is 0. So not 8. So that you want to understand. Up to here you want to study well and prepare a note of this chapter up to valency. And next class we are going to discuss about writing the molecular formula of a compound by using the valency. Thank you.